Hey, Bam here with a new video. In this video, I'll show you how to make a +2 amulet, meaning a +1 to global, to all skills, and +1 to whatever you need. Fire, cold, lightning, chaos, or physical. So I will do it on Craft of Exile, but just know that it's the same exact way to do it in-game. So what we'll start with is an amulet. It needs to be item level 75 because the +1 both of the +1 only come when the item level is at least 75. So start with whatever base you need. If you need a strand index, you pick that up, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? For this example, we'll use Onyx Amulet. So the first thing is you want to make sure you do not have any influence on the item. And as I said, it needs to be at least 75. And then what we do from here. So what we would do right now is just alt spam until we get a +1, okay? Until we get +1 to all skill gems. For the sake of this example, I will not be spamming alt. It takes a while, but it's still cheaper than buying one. So instead, I will just use that one and skip the alt spamming, okay? So now, what's the next step? We just regal it to make sure it's rare, okay? And then once we're here, if we hit a prefix, it's actually easier to go on. If we hit a suffix, we actually have to remove that suffix. So we use an annul and then it's a 50-50. Either we remove the mod we didn't want or we remove the +1. If we remove the +1, we have to start over. But now we got lucky, we hit the 50-50. So what's next? Then we will craft crafted mods. Okay. We will can have up to 3 crafted modifier that cost 2 divines. Make sure that you know that before crafting it. Cannot roll attack modifiers. And prefixes cannot be changed. That's another 2 divines. So now we are already 4 divines deep, so make sure you follow this step carefully to not waste your currency. And then the next step is just use a harvest. And we have a add, then remove. So in order to do this, you have to make sure you have an open prefix, okay? Because if all your prefixes were full, let's say like this, all they were full, and then we wouldn't be able to use the add and remove. See, says no space left. So you want to make sure you have at least one open prefix. But then yeah, you can use that. Say add and remove. Let's say chaos. If we use this, +1 chaos guaranteed. You can use it a bunch of times. It's the same for a cold, right? Same for oops, no, same for fire. Same for lightning and physical. These all guaranteed. And then once we're there, if we actually kept the prefixes cannot be changed here, we can straight up just use a veiled chaos orb and then sit on here, and then we get whatever we get, and we can craft something else. Here we have a veiled prefix, so we won't be able to craft life, but maybe we get life or something. And then you craft the least modifier that you want, like suffixes or something. Or you could be crafting with harvest again. And let's say one thing I really like to do is just craft chaos, so not add and remove, just craft chaos. But make sure you have that here. Prefixes cannot be changed, right? And then yeah, and we are guaranteed a chaos modifier. Here we got a low tier life, a low tier chaos, and some crit, but this is something we could actually use. And then yeah, you can benchcraft whatever is the last modifier. Here, while editing the video, I noticed I didn't give the option on what to do when you actually remove the prefixes cannot be changed. So when you actually remove it with the harvest, you want to go to your bench and remove the crafted modifiers. There's a mod on your craft bench, just remove crafted modifiers. And then You want to go to your prefixes if you have an open prefix, of course. And what I like to do is actually craft life. Here, life. Sorry, I clicked. Right? Craft life, and then use exalt SAMs. Build the suffixes. Or if you want, you can do it the other way around. Actually, here we got really lucky. Plus tier 1 crit multi is insane. But yeah, if you want, instead, you can, if you want to craft there's a suffix modifier you actually want crafted. Instead, you can just uh, block whatever suffix you don't want. Like, let's say hybrid, the hybrid attribute, and index. Okay, let's say this, for example. So you want to craft this and then use exalts. Then yeah, we got like mana. It's pretty bad, but as a prefix. But then yeah, you use twice. And then you remove the mod, you go back to your bench craft and you the mod and craft whatever you like. Say you want hybrid chaos resistance, whatnot. This is what. The other thing that you could be doing instead of just using straight up exalt is using influence. So let's say go back and then be doing is use a maybe you want to craft on your prefixes and try to get a good suffix. So what we'll do is just craft a random prefix. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. This. And then on suffixes, let's say we want, there's a bunch of stuff that's cool, like increased memorization, if it's still nice. Hatred. Hatred is really a big one. Grace. And total mana reservation efficiency of skill. So using a redeemer is really useful. Also, Hunter has a bunch of damage over time multiplier. Of course, you would want to hit the same skill. Like here is +1 cold, so you would want to get the plus cold. But this is something you can do. Just note that once it has an influence on it, you can no longer do this. So you pretty much you can only do it once. But yeah, you can watch whatever modifier you want to use and use those influence exalted orbs instead. As I said, I really like to use the redeemer because of the increased mana reservation of skills and some of the targeted like hatred or grace. Both are pretty good and increase the effect of non-damaging ailments. So what we could do is just use a redeemer once our prefixes are blocked, right? Then yeah, now we have increased dexterity. Maybe if we're build that actually can use that, it's good or not, doesn't matter. And then you use normal exalted orb to, oops, normal exalted orb to finish the item. Right here, see here we got extra lucky. We got the Grace tier 1 using a exalted orb. It can happen, but honestly, do not bet on it. The crit multi and this amulet would be like maybe 40 divines or something. So it can happen, but don't count on it. So instead of what I will do is just remove those two and then just use exalt again. Now we got a good lightning resist and some accuracy, which could be useful depending on the build. All right, now if we compare this to the trade website, if we look at the amulets that have +1 to cold and +1 to all, the base is like 7.5. This is the minimum price. And if we compare to what we paid for, so we invested 5 divines on the bench graph for the multi-mod, the prefixes cannot be changed, and the cannot roll attack modifiers. And then that's 5 divines. And then we crafted add and remove on the harvest bench, which is close to 2 divines. So that's 7 divines, right? So pretty much we're already like to that price. And that's one that's been posted only 20 minutes ago too. But if you look at the modifiers, they're pretty bad. So what we could be getting instead is maybe get lucky and get something way better than this. So hopefully this was helpful. Consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, take care, guys.